KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. I'm Gary Garver. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. You never know when I come into the studio. All right. It is a Monday. Hopefully you had a great Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody. I had a nice Father's Day, and it was very cool. Enjoyed the golf, sort of, the U.S. Open. By the way, I have the guru of the ghetto on the phone, Jigga Jones. How you doing, Jigga? Good morning.
Yeah, man, it's on a Monday up here drinking my Thunderbird in the morning, thinking about making some pancakes after the show.
Nice. I like that. In Vegas, it must be roasting hot in Las Vegas right now, man. It must be cooking.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was 106 yesterday, out here doing it, and it's been nice, It's good drinking weather.
Let me ask you something. I know that it's great drinking weather. Is it smoggy out there? Because here in Los Angeles, it's going to be like in the hundreds. Where I live in the valley, it's going to be like 105 today, which is crazy. But it's smoggy, man. You can't breathe. Basically, you can't go outside because if you do, you're going to like get poisoned. So, do you have smog out in Vegas?
The one thing I tell you is that we get LA smog later. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got smog today, that means when it blows in, we're going to get it, and it's going to go past us.
Yeah.
We had that Electric Daisy Carnival thing going on this weekend, boy. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet you that was cool, right? A lot of people, getting roofied and, taking ecstasy.
Yeah. Tell you what, Bill Cosby missed out on this event. He could have been at this one. But I tell you, man, it was fun, boy. People had a good time. There was a lot of dudes wearing a lot of questionable stuff, man. This guy walked by, past me with some fairy wings on. I was like, okay.
You know what, dude? It's crazy.
It was crazy.
There's a story.
Yeah.
I was going. I always scan the news cycles here in the morning, and on CNN.com, they had our basically what's happened to masculinity, and they're talking about how, even when you go into, I guess, stores, to get clothes and stuff like that, that women's and men's clothes are sort of combining nowadays. What the hell's going on? I talk about this all the time. Like, what's going on? The pacification of men. It's crazy. I don't know. Men are turning into women, and women are turning into... Are you okay with that? Are you cool with that?
No, I'm not cool with it. That's not something I get down with, but I will tell you, there was a lot of very questionable looking folks walking around. Boy, I said, hey, man, what is this you wearing, dog? They couldn't even answer it. They were looking at it like, what?
Could you see any of the brothers in the hood wearing some fairy wings, man?
Man, no. But, they had a dude wearing a romper the other day.
Right.
You seen that?
I've heard about that. In fact, I did a show where somebody was talking about where it's like it's a one-piece, right, type thing where it's like a little baby's outfit, right, where it'd be like a one-piece with the shorts where I guess it's sort of like, remember babies do still have that, where it's like little shorts, but they're all, and it covers their torso and stuff like that.
All it does is make it very inconvenient for a man to drop a deuce.
Right,
you know
exactly.
You gotta step out of this thing.
Who would wear that, man? What the hell's going? And skinny jeans and stuff like that. I mean, what happened to bell bottoms? Bell bottoms. I used to love wearing bell bottoms, man. And now it's skinny jeans and all this stuff.
Yeah, bell bottom trousers, tied, loose around the ankles, tied around the ass. Remember that?
Yeah. How do you drop a deuce in those bumper things or whatever they're called?
I don't know, man. I mean, you got to take the whole thing. You got to step completely out of it.
You got to get naked
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm tired, man. I'm worn out from all that crapola. But anyways, happy Father's Day. Did you have so you had a nice Father's Day. You were out there at the Electric Daisy Carnival, running into with the guy wearing the wings. Did you make a wish with him or something like that? Did he blow some dust on you?
I tell you what, you gotta watch for the fairy dust out there, because it was that. I mean, but there was dudes in full makeup, man, where they had like they penciled the eyebrows in. Like, what are you wearing, dog? I mean, I was literally probably one of only 3 black people out there, and the other ones was working there.
I bet.
But there was a lot of fun. The music was loud and the bass was pumping, and
well, that's cool.
People was out there, and women was half naked out there.
Well, I like that.
It was nice.
I like that. I mean, women's shorts are getting shorter and shorter, which I love. I mean, I love these. The women are basically wearing nothing nowadays, which is all right by me. I don't care. It's okay. If guys want to dress like chicks and women want to dress with nothing, I'm cool with it. I don't care. Whatever.
No,
do whatever
I saw a
you
guy
want
with
to
his butt cheeks hanging out, and he had some. It was not cool. You can see the hair coming out. So you know what, man?
Stop, man! You're gonna make me throw up this
I mean,
morning.
even Michael Phelps, you know, you can see his cheeks in the back. At least he's shaved, so you don't have to imagine too much.
By the way, did you hear about Michael Phelps? He's gonna race a great white shark. How stupid is that? Now, you know, did you see this? They're actually gonna announce it this week that Michael Phelps.
I think he's gonna win.
Is going to race a great white shark. But how do you get the great white shark to race Phelps? Like, how's it? Is there a starter gate? Or
let him loose in the tank.
Well,
and if he eats up Michael Phelps, then he lost the race.
Wouldn't that be cool if he jumped the shark, as they say, the shark jumped the shark and ate Phelps? Now that would be must-see TV. You know, I don't get it. Anyways, I had a nice Father's Day. I watched the U.S. Open golf tournament, and by the way, Brooks Koepka won. I bet 4-1 on him yesterday. And won. I just bet $10 on it. I'm trying to keep my gambling to a low. But the bottom line is, I don't know if I'm sure you didn't watch the golf tournament since you're at the Electric Daisy, whatever it was.
Hell no. But the thing is, they had free drinks, so it was like,
okay. If
you had what wasn't free? You paid $20, and then you got as much as you could drink. But they gave you there was a little. They should do this in L.A. You know, it's open bar to where give you a passcode, and you dial the passcode in. And when you get it, there's like a little lights that go across the thing, and if you don't do it in the right sequence at the right time, they know that you're inebriated and can't have another drink.
Well, that's cool. All right, well, I dig that. They should do it out here too. I like that. I like the free drink factor. Though, you know, whenever I go out, when I go to these concerts or I go to a ball game or something like that, I limit myself to 2 drinks. That's it. 2 beers, 2 margaritas, whatever. That's they're
usually like $20 a piece.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, at the Dodger game, they are. But anyways, I was watching the U.S. Open golf tournament yesterday on Fox, and I just got to say that Fox Sports, I don't know if it's because the Fox News is so racist and so, far
racist?
Yes, it was like racist because I had bet Hideki Matsuyama. Okay, he's a Japanese golfer. And I got him at 50-1. This is what so pissed me off. By the way, the announcers suck on Fox. I mean, Brad Faxon, he should stick to playing golf. The guy made at least a dozen mistakes. I mean, talking about, he would say, oh, this guy's on the 13th hole when he was on the 9th hole. And then they were it was terrible. The coverage was terrible. But lo and behold, Hideki Matsuyama was climbing up the leaderboard. I had him at 50-1 odds. Fox did not show him play at all until like at the end, like the 16th, 17th holes. And he's climbing up the leaderboard, and he goes from like 10th to like 3rd, and you still don't see any of his shots. But they showed Ricky Fowler, and they showed the guy Brian Harmon, and the guy who won, Brooks Koepka, and Justin Thomas. They showed all these white guys, but they wouldn't show the Asian dude. So I was like thinking, man, Fox, is that racist? Fox Broadcasting, is that racist that they won't even show the Asian dude? I mean, come on, man. It was very frustrating. I actually posted it on Facebook, and a number of people agreed with me that Fox's coverage at the U.S. Open yesterday was amateur hour. You know what I mean? So anyways, Matsuyama came in second. Oh, well, whatever. I almost won 50-1 at $10. $500.
Second, that's pretty good then. He did all right.
He did all right, but I didn't win the bet. It was 50-1 to win the but I'm just saying, Fox Sports, man, they should not cover golf. I'm telling you, that's the only golf tournament they cover is the U.S. Open, which is one of the 4 majors, and they totally suck. I mean, it was the worst coverage of all time. I just say that because I was like screaming at the TV, why aren't they showing Matsuyama? Why aren't they showing Matsuyama? Is Fox that racist that they won't show it? This is a racist network. Well, I was screaming at the TV while I was drinking my beer and smoking a joint. All right. That was my fault.
Well, I got a secret for you on golf coverage, man.
All right, hold on. I got to take a break, and we'll do it on the break. Okay. It is Controlled Chaos, KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM.
Only we can do it like this.
Gary Garver. Controlled Chaos. NBC Talk Radio, KCAA, 1050 AM.
Hey, it's Gary Garver, and come join me at the Live Like KLF first annual golf tournament, which will be held July 11th at the beautiful Crosby Country Club in Rancho Santa Fe, California. The tournament's goal is not only to raise money for the foundation, livelikekayla.org, but to also create a great time for the participants, sponsors, and celebrities. The Live Like Kayla Foundation is nonprofit for the sole purpose of keeping Kayla Castro's spirit alive and to impact communities that will inspire a positive social change in the world today. For more information or to sign up and play in Kayla's golf tournament, go to livelikekayla.org. That's livelikekayla.org. Look forward to seeing you out there and having a great time.
Attention, retail business owners and managers. Are you losing sales due to customers with bad or no credit? At Retail Customer Finance, we have the solution. Go to www.retailcustomerfinance.com. That's retailcustomerfinance.com. We will approve all customers. You heard right, all customers, based on their ability to pay and not their credit score. So call us at 323-667-4749. That's 323-667-4749. Open a merchant account today for only $199 a year. But wait, it gets better. As a business owner, you will pay no transaction fees for sale. Don't let another customer walk out empty-handed. www.retailcustomerfinance.com or call us at 323-667-4749.
I know, but you can't get in on her questions. But if you wait nicely...
She cut in front of me.
She has a camera. You have a radio. You know how it goes.
Okay.
All right, but I'll come over there. Are you one of the scary morning people who are going to ask horrible things? You got that look. Are you?
Do I have that look?
You do. You got the look like, watch me do something I would have in second grade. Here you go. Go ahead. Say it.
I just want to know, are you friends with Howard Stern? Is that a horrible question to ask?
Camera. They only have a radio, so it doesn't matter. You could keep asking. Yes. Go.
And Brooke is here tonight.
This guy's even embarrassed to be with you now. Look at his face.
He's not with me.
He's not? Maybe that's why. You can go away, because I'm not going to talk to you, so go.
Why not? I thought you and Howard...
Your face.
Like my face?
I don't enjoy you.
You enjoy mine?
Why?
I do.
Look my face.
With him for me? Thank you.
That's enough. Thank you.
I'll be right back. Thank you very much. Forget him now. He has no camera. Remove him. Hi.
Why do you...
I don't enjoy you.
Why don't you like me?
He's being rude.
What'd I do? I did not.
He really wasn't being rude at all.
How are you? How you doing? How you doing, Scott? I'm Gary. Hi, Gary. Ugly face. Who said that? Rosie said I had a horrible face.
I didn't enjoy your face.
What does that mean? Does that mean I'm not good looking or what?
No, it just means you had the intent to harm in your eyes.
I know. Harm and lie?
In your eyes.
Rosie, get out of here. We need to get going. I'll eat.
Boy, she really hates him.
This is a riot.
I'll go. I'll go. Here's me, in case you need me.
So, Howie, we said hi.
Sorry about that.
And I love Gary. I love the other Gary.
Not me.
Well, I don't know you.
I'm a good guy. I'm a good person.
Gary Garver, Jew of the... Oh, what can we say that's not going to piss him off? Never mind.
Oh, the beautiful Rosie O'Donnell stating that I had the intent to do harm in my eyes. Jesus Christ, look at your face, you. You know what? Speaking of dropping a deuce, when she dies, I like to drop one right on her gravesite. What do you think about that? Controlled chaos. Right on her headstone. I'm going to drop one. I can't wait till that fat pig dies. I literally will go down there and do something, something disgusting to her. You know what I mean? Anyways, it is Controlled Chaos. KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM. In the Inland Empire, also iHeartRadio, iHeart.com. I'm Gary Garver here with the guru of the ghetto, Jigga Jones. Jigga, we were talking about, what were we talking? Oh, we were talking about the U.S. Open coverage.
Dropping a deuce?
Dropping a deuce.
Yeah, you were laughing about the coverage of that doggone
the racist
golf game.
Man, if I was an Asian, I would have been pissed off yesterday, man. I'll tell you one thing. You know, the only reason I cared about Matsuyama is because I had 50-1 that he would win the golf tournament, and he almost pulled it off, man. He almost pulled it off. But, man, if I was Asian, I'd be so pissed off and go, oh, yeah, they're so racist. Fox Sports, so racist. I can't believe. Where's Matsuyama? I mean, literally, they could have showed Matsuyama teeing off. They didn't show nothing, and I was very frustrated at that. I mean, I can imagine. I think
you got to realize a lot of that stuff is done. They're asleep at the wheel with that stuff. A lot of those shots are set up way before the doggone events even take place. So what happens is these dudes are on cruise control. They're like, hey, this guy's winning. You know, they do it in NASCAR all the time. They pick the people they think are going to win, and the camera automatically tracks these dudes. And then you're watching the back of the race for the first 20 laps going, what in the hell? Why are we watching this? It's because it's all done by computer, and the edit bay is lazy.
Jigga, let me tell you something. They have cameras on every friggin' hole. They probably got 5 or 6 cameras on every hole. They could have even showed a tape delay of his tee shots. They didn't even show any of his tee shots or anything. They only showed him on the green, and that was only like the last 4 or 5, like 4 holes of the golf tournament. I mean, he was like in second place, and they still wouldn't show him. I mean, they totally dropped the ball. Fox Sports has the worst golf coverage of all time. The PGA should take away the rights, buy back the rights, and give them to NBC or CBS, who are class acts. CBS Sports and NBC Sports covered golf fantastic. Okay, Fox is terrible. That's all I got to say about it. It's done. It's over. Brooks Koepka won, but it was really disturbing. And the announcers, Brad Faxon, he's a professional golfer. He should go back to just playing golf. He's god awful. Okay, Paul Azinger sounded like he was half in the bag. You know, that was a 4-stroke swing. Oh, I meant a 2-stroke swing. I mean, it was just god awful. That's all I got to say. I mean, it was terrible. Hey, by the way, it's so hot in Los Angeles, Jigga. Yeah, like I said.
How hot is it?
It's so hot. My ass is burning. I didn't even eat any chili peppers. You know, it's so hot. It is so hot out there. I'm telling you. And you can't breathe. You can't breathe the air. You can't go outside. But the crazy thing is that the snowpack is amazing. You can still go skiing in Mammoth. You'll be able to go skiing in Mammoth till like August. And in Lake Tahoe, the snowpack is like, you know, is incredible. They're going to be skiing till August or September. And I just want to say, you know, they're talking about the drought and all that. At this time last year, 84% of the state of California was in drought. Now, at this point, it's only 8%. So that's pretty good. We're not in a drought anymore, you know.
Yeah, and even at the North Pole, they recorded a record amount of ice sheets that have landed and have been there. So all this talk about global warming and we're gonna be underwater and all ice is gonna melt and all that stuff. Again, your boy Al Gore proved wrong.
No, not really. Hold on.
Because by now, remember 2017, we're supposed to have like an inch of water everywhere around the country.
Hold on. I got to dispute this, Jigga, because my friend Cliff Yates, who comes in on the show, he helped publish my book, Radio Blows, which, by the way, you can still get on Amazon.com, Radio Blows, Amazon.com. He's got I guess he has an island. I guess in New York they have all these islands, your own islands that you can live on, which is crazy. I didn't even know there's like hundreds of islands in upstate New York that you can actually own or live on. And lo and behold, he showed me a picture because I saw. By the way, I saw Mike Marino, our friend Mike Marino. He did his comedy show Friday at Ha Ha's Cafe.
Yeah,
killed it. It was unbelievable. Go see Mike Marino anywhere in the country or on a cruise ship, because he does a lot of cruise ships. But you got to check it out because it's a great show. But anyways, Cliff was on the card. Cliff Yates was on the card, you know, and he's a former L.A. County sheriff for 30 years and all this. But he was telling me that he's going to he's driving to New York probably as we speak right now. And lo and behold, he says, my dock's underwater. He says, I just built it last year. So he showed me a picture of it, and his dock is literally underwater where he docks his boat.
You know, that sounds like shoddy workmanship to me.
Hold on, dude. How can that be bad? If he just had it built, it was above water. It's wood. Isn't wood supposed to float, by the way? I mean, it's underwater.
That's what I'm telling you, shoddy workmanship. You know what? I've built a couple things when I was drunk, too, and come back and it's fallen down or something and be like, what happened?
Well, I can understand that, but his dock is, and he was showing me a couple of his friends' houses are underwater and stuff like that. So don't tell me there isn't global warming, okay? And by the way, Cliff is a huge Trump supporter, okay? So I was like,
I don't care about Trump. I'm just saying all these people are trying to collect all this money and steal it from me from the recycling. all that stuff. The polar ice caps are going to melt. No, they didn't. They didn't melt. They got more ice there than they had since 1950. So obviously, the ice caps are not in no danger.
Okay.
But all these people, can I get my money back for all the taxes that they took from me because of global warming crap?
So you don't believe in global warming? Come on, man. You don't think the world is changing?
No.
Oh, come on.
Now. Hey, the movie Inconvenient Truth. Remember your boy Al Gore put that out there? The guy supposedly invented the internet. Supposedly, by 2017, we were all supposed to be underwater. You know what? There ain't no water out here.
I am underwater.
And supposedly, there was supposed to be no ice caps by now. Well, guess what? They got the biggest recorded ice caps that they've ever had since 1950. So obviously, these folks is lying and stealing our money. Come on, man.
Okay, man. Well, I am underwater financially. But anyways, that's a whole different story. But there is some global warming.
You can thank the Republicans and the Democrats for that one.
Oh, Jesus, let's not get. Do we have to talk about those two a-holes? I mean, seriously. I mean, remember they had the baseball game, right? They had that baseball game, and and they're all coming together, and you see with the Pelosi and Ryan together, and McConnell and Schumer together. Well, I just wanted to bitch slap both of them. You know what I mean? Oh, we get more. We agree with more than what's reported, and we actually do try to get things done that's not reported. And so, really, you a-holes, don't you want to just? I wish we could just vote them all out of office and just put in.
What I wish they would have done when they were showing the baseball game? I wish they would cut away to Skid Row. While these guys sit up here drinking and laughing and playing baseball, boom, Skid Row. Show a guy down there laying in the gutter.
I agree, man.
Digging through the trash at McDonald's trying to get some food that somebody threw out.
Exactly.
Talking about, and then just to keep it in perspective. So people say, oh, yeah, they're playing baseball. Look, they're getting along. Yeah, look at this guy here eating out of the trash.
How about the veteran?
Look at this veteran laying out here on the curb.
Right.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. With his sign, former Iraqi soldier. Please help me. The government won't. You know what I mean? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see some of that stuff. You know what I mean? I can't stand these a-holes, man. I am so sick. It's hard for me to even watch the news or even. I don't even want to talk about Trump and all this crap because it's ridiculous what's going on, and these guys kissing each other's ass, and they get nothing done. I mean, stop kissing each other's ass. It's just disgusting. I just want to go, Pleh, you know what I mean? You want to drop a deuce on them too. You know what I mean? Seriously, don't you? Don't you? I think and by the way, their approval rating is 10%. If you were at a job.
Why is it that high? Is there that many uneducated people out there that 10% of Americans don't realize that these people are stealing your money?
Dude,
that's basically what that just tells you.
If you're at a job and you're only performing at 50% of what you were supposed to do, you'd be fired. If you're only performing at 75%, you probably have a chance of being fired. But if you're performing at 10%, you'd be gone the next day. I mean, it'd be gone. They'd be gone.
Yeah, and here's my proposal.
Please.
To fix the health care.
Go ahead.
Either give everybody what the Congress has for health care,
exactly,
or shut it all down.
Exactly.
They don't get nothing. You don't get nothing.
You know what they should do?
You know what I'm saying? Because they got Cadillac care. When they talk about that, they call it Cadillac care, and not these bull crap Cadillacs they got today, where they made of plastic and they made like a real Cadillac, chrome and metal and good stuff.
I got a hunk of S care.
Hey, they don't find a solution for health care by next week. Their health care gets shut down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, you're right.
Or they give the rest of the country the health care they got. And I guarantee you they ain't going to do that.
No, exactly. You know what? It's ridiculous.
That's why they in no hurry to fix this problem. Everybody knows Obamacare is a joke.
Well, at least he tried, Jigga. At least he tried.
True. If you had care, it's not better than nothing.
At least he tried. Okay, these guys. I mean, this Republican.
Yeah, Hitler tried too.
Oh, well, hey, don't stop. Do not invoke Hitler on the Control Chaos radio show anymore, please. All right. I mean, do not even invoke that name Hitler. All right, please. All right. Jesus,
Well, fine. Mussolini tried too.
There you go. Okay,
and
please.
Pol Pot did
Saddam Hussein tried too. Okay, come on. Let's use some other vernacular. You know what I mean?
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un is trying very hard right now. All right, it's controlled chaos.
Man, the world's full of a-holes. You can list evil people like on for an hour.
I know. Well, hold on. We got to take a break. Okay, you're on fire today. Go have another drink and start stirring up the pancakes. I'm hungry. All right, it is controlled chaos. Yeah. Jacob Jones, Gary Garver. We'll be back with more chaos right after this. Yeah.
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM, KCAA.
Hey, it's Gary Garver, and come join me at the Live Like Kayla first annual golf tournament, which will be held July 11th at the beautiful Crosby Country Club in Rancho Santa Fe, California. The tournament's goal is not only to raise money for the foundation, livelikekayla.org, but to also create a great time for the participants, sponsors, and celebrities. The Live Like Kayla Foundation is nonprofit for the sole purpose of keeping Kayla Castro's spirit alive and to impact communities that will inspire a positive social change in the world today. For more information or to sign up and play in Kayla's golf tournament, go to livelikekayla.org. That's livelikekayla.org. Look forward to seeing you out there and having a great time.
Attention, retail business owners and managers. Are you losing sales due to customers with bad or no credit? At Retail Customer Finance, we have the solution. Go to www.retailcustomerfinance.com. That's retailcustomerfinance.com. We will approve all customers. You heard right, all customers, based on their ability to pay and not their credit score. So call us at 323-667-4749. That's 323-667-4749. Open a merchant account today for only $199 a year. But wait, it gets better. As a business owner, you will pay no transaction fees for sale. Don't let another customer walk out empty-handed. www.retailcustomerfinance.com or call us at 323-667-4749.
Hey, this is comedian Mike Marino, and I want you guys to come to see my show live. Get some tickets at mikemarino.net. Log on to tour dates and find out when I'm going to be in your area. Also, watch my YouTube series, Marino 2016, as we transform the series into Hey Marino, only on my YouTube channel, which is Mike Marino Live on YouTube. You can log on to my Instagram and my Twitter at Mike Marino Live. I am Mike Marino, and I appreciate being on the Gary Garver Show every time I'm in the box on Controlled Chaos.
No disrespect, but I can't watch no black movies with getting dogged out, 12 Years a Slave, Roots, Underground. I can't watch none of that shit. Sick of this shit. How the they gonna put Roots on Memorial Day? They gonna just keep beating that in our heads of how they did us, huh? I mean, I don't understand America. They just want to just keep showing the abuse that we took hundreds and hundreds of years ago. But guess what? We taking the same abuse. Think about that part. When y'all gonna make a series about the success that black folks is having? The only success we have is Roots and 12 Years a Slave and like that, huh? I ain't watching that. I advise you that's real like myself, them television shows. Let's create our own based on the day, how we live and how we inspire people today. Black is what's real. That old right, Jules?
The man that Howard Stern fired and said he would never work in radio again. That's right, it's the second coming of Gary Garver.
I used to be such a sweet, sweet thing till they got a hold of me.
All right, it is Controlled Chaos for a Monday. I'm having fun today. It's nice to laugh. Anyways, I'm Gary Garver, here with the Guru of the Ghetto, live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Jigga Jones.
Yeah.
There you are, Jigga. I said no more Mr. Nice Guy. Anyways, I guess during the weekend in chaos, of course, there's chaos always going on the weekend. Bill Cosby was found basically, his lawyer said it's not guilty. It was a mistrial. That doesn't mean not guilty. But anyways, Bill Cosby's rape case ends in a mistrial, Jigga.
So would it be safe to say that Bill Cosby got off?
Well, at least 50 or 60 women are saying that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know anything about it when he did, but
No.
you know. But
You
anyway,
don't like witnesses.
yeah, I guess they deliberated over 50 hours, and they couldn't come up with a verdict. So the DA, I guess, is going to retry Cosby. He's got 4 months to do. He's got 120 days to refile and open the case and retry Bill Cosby. For the time being, though, Bill Cosby is a free man. I don't know what to say about this.
I think it's good that he's free. I mean, I would have loved to see him go to jail, but the problem is he's in such bad health right now. All it would do is screw the taxpayers. Because you know what? This stuff happened 30 years ago. If it was all that bad, somebody would have killed and shot him by now, or he'd have been in jail. So that's all I'm saying. Why we even go through it? Just label him a racist, be done with it, or a rapist, whatever, same thing. So the same kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But just and be done with it. Because you know what? Are you going to get justice after it happened 30 years later? No. Are you going to get the big bad booty hole man to come on him? It's not going to happen. To come, I mean to come on to him, not anything
All
like
right,
that.
we got
But
it.
nothing like that's going to happen. Nobody's going to come get him. Nobody's going to beat him up. You're still going to remember the Cosby Show as a good memory. Unless you was in the show and in his trailer.
Yeah, well, listen, the bottom line is the guy's like, half blind, and he's walking with a cane. His reputation.
Yeah,
his reputation's been
it'd be
slaughtered.
a mistake. It'd be a mistake because basically what they need to do is just put him out in traffic and see if he can find his way across the freeway because he can't see. and then you put it on pay-per-view, and the money you get back will pay back for the court.
And if he gets hit, he's found guilty. If he doesn't get hit, he's found not guilty, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is
make
the guy's
a game show. Dig up Richard Dawson again and do like the Running Man.
Exactly. I mean, the bottom line is, his reputation's already been damaged. I mean, he'll never get his reputation back. I mean, whether he's found guilty or not guilty is besides the point. 50 women
He's always
came out.
guilty. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Once you've been accused of it, it's like when you're in a car with a bunch of dudes and they point at you and say you farted. It doesn't matter whether you did or not. That's what everybody remember. You was in the car and you passed gas. And everybody was like going for the windows.
Exactly, and especially if you cup it. You know what I mean? Then you're guilty. But the thing is that it's over. Okay, I don't really want to go. Does the public really want to go through this again? I mean, does anybody really care? I mean, I know the women care and the families care and things like that. And
no, they don't, because if they cared, this would have been done 30 years ago.
Right.
All they care about is getting the money, because right now, I guarantee you now it's going to be about the civil thing, because we went to court, you had a hung jurors, now I can sue you and get some money. That's all this is about money, because I tell you what, if Bill Cosby was broke, you wouldn't have heard nothing about this. If he was like Red Fox, broke in his last days, nobody would have said Jack Doss. Nothing.
I love Red Fox, by the way. I saw him at the. I saw.
Oh
him
yeah,
many years ago.
Here at the Stardust in Vegas.
I saw him.
It was here.
I saw him at the Hacienda in Vegas.
Oh wow! And it was a dirty show, man. Let me tell you.
It was really dirty. I mean, it was beyond dirty, and I loved it. We were actually sitting in the front row, and my dad had this shirt on. It looked like it had black and stripes down the thing. And goes, and Red Fox points out to my dad. He goes, "What the F did you just come from? A soccer match? Refereeing a soccer match?" It's like, and that was the cleanest thing he said the whole time. But Red Fox was unbelievable. Besides, the thing with Bill Cosby is that it's over for him. He's 79 years old. He's barely can see. He's been exposed to society. Do we really have to retry him and do all that? I don't think it's
not really,
close.
because there's a lot more pending things. But here's the main thing to remember: with this whole thing, you can sit back and laugh about it. Is you say, hey, this is a lesson to people: don't trust a person who doesn't drink or who doesn't cuss.
Right.
And if they don't do both, don't trust them.
Exactly.
People say, oh, I can trust this guy because he doesn't drink, he doesn't cuss, and he's a priest, and he's a nice little priest. Yeah, guess what? Little boy said, oh, hell no. Watch out. Watch what he do in the back room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you got to watch people like that. So these people that walk around and tell you, oh, you shouldn't use this kind of profanity. I wouldn't drink on Thursday. Oh, you drinking before noon. Watch those people, because I guarantee you, when they tell you, and then the Mormon church is a good thing to tell you, because they tell you whoever points the finger has three fingers pointing back at you, and it's very true.
I agree with 100% with that. And you know, the people that speak holier than thou are usually the ones that are the dirtiest and filthiest and the most disgusting souls on the face of the earth. So you got to, yeah. And Bill Cosby he always ragged on people, especially comedians that did blue material and cussed on stage, and like the George Carlins and, you know, the Red Foxes of the world and the Richard Pryors of the world. And he's always like bagging on them. And look, lo and behold, look what happened to him, man. I mean, you know, which is worse? Please, it's not even a game over for Bill Cosby as far as like his career and everything. But I don't think we should retry him. I think it's over, done with. His reputation's been screwed over. Do we really want to throw him in jail? It's 80 years old. I mean, I don't see the point of it.
I don't, because there'd have to be a stipulation that he'd have to pay for his care.
Yeah.
Because they've already talked about how much it costs to keep him, and he's out of jail. Can you imagine when you're in jail, you ain't got nothing to do but sit there and think about how much pain you in and go back and forth, sick call, sick call, sick call, sick call. Forget it.
Right. Hey, by the way, dude, and I saw this on the news yesterday. I was watching the news for a minute. They have jails, and I didn't even know this, where you can actually, that the inmates can actually pay to have, like, to stay in a really nice jail. Where they get...
Yeah, Beverly Hills has that, too.
Oh, Hermosa Beach, Seal Beach.
Yep.
I mean, they're showing all these jails, and these women were pissed off, and a lot of people that had been victimized by these criminals, and see these guys, they're doing their time. I guess they pay anywhere from $100 to $250 a night to stay in jail, and they get, like, phone. They can use the phone at any time.
Great Bar Hotel.
They can watch movies. They got cable TV. They can get all sorts of food and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't even know about this stuff, man. I mean, you can.
Oh yeah, man. If you go to jail and you got some money, you can do like John Gotti said. You know what? I'm gonna come in on Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, 5 o'clock.
Right.
You know, and a note to anybody: if you got to go to jail, turn yourself in. If you ever got to turn yourself in at 11 p.m. Because what happens is the time you get processed in, the date that's on there, you get credit for that date.
Okay.
So
you get a full
you go
day.
in on a Friday, late, when midnight is now Saturday, you've now done 2 days, even though you've only been there an hour.
Right. I dig it. But I was shocked. I was shocked to see this, man. I'm like, really? They got these high-end jails where the inmates, you have to have lots of money and be rich and affluent. But if you have this kind of dough where you can pay to stay in these jails, they charge anywhere from $100 to $250 a night. There's actually jails all over Southern California where you can, you stay on the beach. They said one of I think it's Hermosa Beach. You stay right on the friggin' beach.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But anyways, who knew? And a Bill Cosby would definitely do that.
And honestly, in a free society, what's wrong with that?
I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm just sort of shocked about that. And who's making the money? Of course, I guess Hermosa Beach.
The whole court system is a joke. Honestly,
it really is.
It is, because here's the deal. The police department should not generate revenue. If it's about public safety, and you get a ticket, it shouldn't be, it costs you $1,000. It should be, hey, you got a point on your license. You get so many points, you're going to lose your license, and leave it at that. It shouldn't be no money when you go to court.
Well,
if it's about public safety, then it's about public safety. It's about stealing your money.
Yeah.
No.
Well, what should happen if these guys are paying? They were convicted and they victimized, like a couple of women have been raped and stuff like that, sexually assaulted. I mean, if they're paying $100 to $250 a night, why don't you kick back some of that money to the victims? Like, hey, split it 50-50. No, I'm just saying they should do something like that. I know it's not going to happen. I know. I'm just saying.
I don't even like the idea, because then you get people saying, "Oh, I was victimized," and start pointing the finger just to get money. You got to watch out for that too.
I dig it. Well, it happens anyway.
It's already bad enough with all this frivolous lawsuit crap,
I hear it. Anyways,
I don't know. I still believe you should be able to take a ball-peen hammer and solve all your problems.
I agree 100%. I agree 100% on that. Hey, speaking of this, I can see where people are just so upset with the system, though. I guess this guy. Remember last year where that woman was videotaping? I guess it was Facebook Live, where she's videotaping her boyfriend getting killed by that cop. Do you remember that, Philando Castile?
Yeah.
I guess the cop went to trial, and of course the jury found him innocent again, not guilty. I mean, I don't blame black people for being pissed off at this stuff. I mean, you could literally see this cop gunning down this guy live on Facebook right in front of, I mean, her kid was in the back, and the guy gets the cop gets off again, man. I mean, you know, this is terrible.
This is my main reason why I protest against these laws that people come up and say only the police and the government should have guns. And this is why I say, hell no, that's a bad idea. Because everybody knows the police, you know, not all of them, but they hire some bad people. And you know there's all kinds of crooks in government. And if you give those people the power to exit your life at any time, you're in a bad way.
Yeah, about 1,000 people are fatally shot by police officers in the United States every year. I mean, this is crazy. This guy, you can see he wasn't doing anything, man. I mean, and the cop just came in there and blew him away right there in his passenger seat.
Yeah.
He got off, and then yesterday in Seattle, I don't know if you heard about this in Seattle, Seattle police officers shot and killed a 30-year-old mother of four at her apartment Sunday morning in front of several children when the woman confronted them with a knife, according to a statement from authorities. Okay. Of course, a statement from authorities. The Seattle Times said she had called police. She called the police to report a possible burglary. And she gets shot by the cops. And she's reporting a break-in at her place. I mean, this is insane.
This is another reason, and this is another reason people wonder why black people don't call the cops. This is why. Things like this. You know, people say, how come there was a murder out there and nobody called the cops? Because the police ain't going to be able to bring the person back to life. All the police are going to do is bring another gun into the situation.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, listen, her name was Charlena Lyles, okay, and I guess she had a history of mental health issues. She was 3 months, hold on, she was 3 months pregnant with her fifth child, and her friends are saying that she was too tiny for officers to have been threatened by her, even if she had a knife. And by the way, and one of her friends says, why couldn't they just tasered her, right? I mean, you know, exactly. Why couldn't they just tasered her and taken her down? Why do they have to gun people down like that, especially with a knife? Okay, with a gun, I can understand that. But a knife or a pipe or whatever, and you hear about, oh, they gunned down this guy and he was carrying a pipe. Really? You've got tasers, you got guns, these cops got everything. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's disgusting.
Well, you know, you know the reason why cops are afraid of knives, right?
Well, tell me.
Because a knife will go right through a bulletproof vest.
Okay.
Like it ain't there.
All right. Okay.
So the minute you pull a knife out, cops go to I can't even say the word. They go code brown in their pants.
All right. I hear you. I hear you.
And then knife, bop. You don't even get a chance to put it down. You know, because they get scared, because there's been a lot of cops that have been. I mean, you see these protests they done had, and the cops done took a blade through the vest. You know,
the bottom line is, man, you know.
But I'm not saying what they did was right. Here's man. Somebody got a knife. I can sidestep you, dog.
She called the police. She called the police to report a crime, and she gets killed for it. I mean, come on, man. And, you know, and guess what? These cops aren't going to go to trial. Even if they do go to trial, they're not going to be convicted. I mean, I'm just I feel
she wanted them there.
I mean,
she wanted those people there. They came there,
and that's why. And you're right. That's why black people do not call the cops. And I wouldn't call the cops either, man. I mean, scary proposition, man. I mean, these guys, you don't know what's on their minds. Maybe they broke up with their girlfriend, or or had some bad Chinese food or something the night before.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, I'll tell you. Very quick story. I know dude in Compton, and some bad stuff happened, and they called all their friends, but they wouldn't call the cops. You know why? Because the buddy was high on Sherm, and he had a knife, and everybody was trying to get it from him, and people in the street with bed sheets trying to tie this dude up, and they were like, well, somebody call the cops. They're like, don't you call the cops out here. You know, and years later, this dude, you know, he was thankful to the people in the neighborhood not calling the cops, because the first thing they would have done is shot him.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean that's really
that's
sick.
a realistic thing that happened.
I'm telling you, man, it's our society is crazy, and this woman was shot in front of a bunch of kids. It's just I don't get it, man. I mean, you know, it's and nothing's going to get done. That's the point I'm trying to say, is that nothing's going to get done. That guy Castile. You know, his murder, the guy walked free, that cop. You hear about it all the time, the cops walking free or whatever. It's sick. All right, we got to take a break. It is Controlled Chaos. Jacob Jones in Vegas. I'm here in Encino. All right, Gary Garver, by the way. That's who I am. Am I?
DC Talk Radio, 1050 AM, KCAA.
Hey, it's Gary Garver, and come join me at the Live Like Caleb first annual golf tournament, which will be held July 11th at the beautiful Crosby Country Club in Rancho Santa Fe, California. The tournament's goal is not only to raise money for the foundation, livelikekayla.org, but to also create a great time for the participants, sponsors, and celebrities. The Live Like Kayla Foundation is nonprofit for the sole purpose of keeping Kayla Castro's spirit alive and to impact communities that will inspire a positive social change in the world today. For more information or to sign up and play in Kayla's golf tournament, go to livelikekayla.org. That's livelikekayla.org. Look forward to seeing you out there and having a great time.
Attention, retail business owners and managers. Are you losing sales due to customers with bad or no credit? At Retail Customer Finance, we have the solution. Go to www.retailcustomerfinance.com. That's retailcustomerfinance.com. We will approve all customers. You heard right, all customers, based on their ability to pay and not their credit score. So call us at 323-667-4749. That's 323-667-4749. Open a merchant account today for only $199 a year. But wait, it gets better. As a business owner, you will pay no transaction fees for sale. Don't let another customer walk out empty-handed. www.retailcustomerfinance.com or call us at 323-667-4749.
Hey, this is comedian Mike Marino, and I want you guys to come to see my show live. Get some tickets at mikemarino.net. Log on to tour dates and find out when I'm going to be in your area. Also, watch my YouTube series, Marino 2016, as we transform the series into Hey Marino, only on my YouTube channel, which is Mike Marino Live on YouTube. You can log on to my Instagram and my Twitter at Mike Marino Live. I am Mike Marino, and I appreciate being on the Gary Garver Show every time I'm in the box on Controlled Chaos.
Ever wonder how celebrities get their skin red carpet ready? Look no further than the Fire and Ice Facial from Is Clinical, available at Nina MD Beverly Hills. The Fire and Ice Facial is an amazing clinical treatment designed to rapidly and safely regenerate the skin, reducing fine lines and wrinkles for an envious glow, while smoothing and softening to achieve that ageless face. Excellent for all skin types and ages, Is Clinical's Fire and Ice Facial is a celebrity favorite and provides dramatic results with no downtime, peeling, or side effects. The Fire and Ice Facial is normally $215, but call 310-777-7511 now. Mention this ad and pay only $179. That's over $35 in savings just by mentioning this ad. Don't miss out on glowing and radiant skin from Is Clinical and Nina MD Beverly Hills. For more info, visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511. That's 310-777-7511.
This is Gary Garver. Written book called Radio Blows. It's all about my career in the radio business, my time with the Howard Stern Show, and celebrity interviews. My top 10 cool celebrities and my top 10 uncool celebrities. Here's a sample of a couple cool ones and a couple uncool ones.
Make a citizen's arrest on me? Yeah, take this stuff. Yeah? I'm holding you. Yeah? Get the marshal. Get the marshal. What thing's wrong? Let's see who's wrong. Marshal right now? Let's see who's wrong.
Are you one of the scary morning people going to ask horrible things? You got that look. Are you?
You don't have that look?
You do. You got the look like, watch me do something I would have in second grade.
If you're forced into gay sex, choose.
I don't get forced it.
Thanks a lot, Jen. If you were on a desert island and you had to choice something loved of Pamela Lee or Reno, choose.
That's a question I don't want to answer because my wife will listen to the show.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Radio Blows available now on Amazon, Amazon.com, and Kindle. Radio Blows. If you want to get into the radio business or find a radio, it's a must-read book.
How you doing? Hey, what's up? Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Hey, if Jesus was here today at this event, what would you say to him?
Well, I would say, hello, Jesus, I've been looking for you. It's about time you showed up to help us out a little bit here.
What do you think of Howard Stern?
Oh, I can't tell you what, but he's got his own style like we all do. More power to Howard.
Shake private area?
Well, it depends on what I'm doing and who I'm going to be with.
Controlled Chaos. NBC Talk Radio, KCAA 1050 AM.
From the four corners of the world, dumbing down his IQ so you can understand him. It's Gary Garver.
All right, it is Controlled Chaos, KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3. FM in the Inland Empire, W4CY.com, K4HD.com. Check out the show on iHeartRadio, iHeart.com. I'm Gary Garver here with the guru of the ghetto in Las Vegas, Jigga Jones. We really didn't touch on any of this other chaos over the weekend where this van ran into a bunch of worshipers near a London mosque, injuring 10 and killing at least one person. I mean, and then I just saw on the news, Jigga, that I guess in Paris, a car rammed into a police van, and it was full of explosives and weapons. I guess a new way of terror is to just take a car and ram into people and ram into cars and stuff like that. I mean, this is crazy, man. What's going on here? What's going on with our society, man? I mean, it's like tit for tat now, and I don't know. I don't know. Is it ever going to end? When's it going to happen here in America? Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of time, don't you think, that one of these guys is going to go loose on Times Square or, you know, God knows where here on Sunset Boulevard?
Well, yeah, we've done everything we could to make sure that it does happen. You know, we're taking people from terrorist nations. We're allowing people who live in countries that we're bombing to come over freely. We're just doing all that. So, yeah, eventually we're going to be just like France, but none of this will stop until you can tell the truth. Right now, you know, the world is like a fat girlfriend. You know, where you say, "Oh, do I look fat?" There's this. Oh no, you look good. You know, do I look good in red? Oh yeah, you sure do. Yeah, you look like a fire engine. You know, all this crazy stuff. So when you can tell the truth and say, "No, maybe you should push back from the plate a little bit." You know, maybe we should go from something like that, and then that's going to happen. But right now, you know, you got people that think it's cool to be terrorists as a culture. And then you're surprised when they come here and blow stuff up. I don't understand it. That's like letting me bring a bunch of my convict buddies over to your house to party, and the next morning, oh, my wallet's gone. Oh, the vase is gone. Oh, the TV's missing. You're surprised.
At least you didn't take my jewelry.
Do that at home.
At least you didn't take my jewelry. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. But anyways,
you know, you wouldn't do things you would if you wouldn't do it in your house. Don't do it with your country.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
Well, we got to do something.
That's what it is.
We got to do something about we got to find a solution, man. I mean, it's just we're getting torn apart.
We know the solution. Society. Nobody wants to admit that's what it is.
Well, what's the solution? You know why can't people get along? Hold on. Why can't we just get along as Muslims and Jews and Christians and whatever you are, black, white, Hispanic? Why can't we just get along, man? I mean, we're on the planet for such a short time. I mean, I don't get the hatred and the chaos that people are I don't know. I go as, and I even said this to God yesterday, you know, because I heard about all this stuff and things. I'm like, God, don't you have any control over the devil? I mean, the devil is running rampant on our society, man. He's kicking ass. The devil's kicking ass, man. I mean, seriously.
Well, the reason is this. You know, if people think that God has seemed far away today, guess who moved? It wasn't God. You know, the people, now you can't say under God. You take it off the coins. You can't pray in school. You can't do this. You can't do that. Oh, and now you're surprised that there's godlessness in the country?
I hear you.
No, you can't tell people they can't pray and they shouldn't pray, and it's racist if you pray and all this crap, and then wonder why God is gone.
I hear you, brother.
And this is what it is. You know, I mean, it's crazy, man. But everyone knows you got those two friends. Everyone's got like friends where, you know, I can't put Martha and Joe in the same room because they don't get along.
I hear you, brother. Hey, we got to roll, brother. You're on fire today. You're on fire. You're on fire.
Don't do it at home. Don't do it in the country.
All right, JiggaJones.com, JiggaJones.com. Check it out. Jigga, thank you for calling in. I will talk to you hopefully Wednesday, God willing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I said God. I'm sorry. All right, you guys have a great day. Control Chaos, KCAA, Deputy on 106.5. Blah, 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 blah. I'm Gary Garver. Have a great day. Stay cool. Brothers and sisters.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Jessica Ettinger, CNBC. Stocks are soaring. The Dow has hit a record high, and right now the Dow is up 101 points. The Nasdaq is up 71 points. The S&P 500 up 16 points. Here's a note for you to put things in perspective. The average annualized total return for the S&P 500 index over the past 90 years is 9.8%. For 2017, it's only June. It's already returned that. No guarantee it'll stay there. Friday's announced deal for Amazon to buy Whole Foods is still rocking the markets. There's been an expectation now that a rival bidder will appear for Whole Foods. The grocer's stock is now above the price Amazon offered to pay. Tech CEOs are in Washington, D.C. at this hour, meeting with President Trump. The heads of Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and Alphabet are hoping to get immigration back on the agenda. Those companies hire a lot of tech experts from overseas. Jessica Ettinger, CNBC.
Think about everything you've done to make sure your small business is truly professional. Well, Vistaprint is here to help your business look professional from the very first impression with 500 high-quality business cards starting at $9.99. That's 500 cards for less than $10. Whether you want your business to feel trustworthy with our hand-selected paper stocks or to stand out with brilliant finishes, you'll get the card that fits your business at Vistaprint.com. Just use promo code 6688 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 6688.
And now for something deliciously different from Wendy's. Wendy's Double Stack is still an option in the 4 for $4. With a quarter pound of fresh beef, 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink. That's a deal so good it should not exist. Like how owls shouldn't be able to turn their heads all the way around.
Who wouldn't like that deal?
The 4 for $4 with your choice of a double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. A deal so great, it's impossibly good, but not for long.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time. Meal includes 4-piece chicken nuggets, small fries, and a drink. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Not in Alaska.
Here's the latest in local news from KCAA, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and 1050 AM. 5 minor aftershocks within 12 hours followed a magnitude 3.5 earthquake centered near Idlewild on Sunday. The quake got the most attention around Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley, but caused no damage. A $1,000 citation was given to a Riverside homeowner for causing illegal fireworks to ignite a brief gas fire that threatened several homes on Friday. Firefighters responded to a third alarm and pounced on the fast-moving fire, stopping it at 3 acres on Graylock Avenue. Heat wave conditions have ganged up on firefighters trying to keep a lid on worsening wildfire danger. A fire Sunday claimed 153 acres of dry grass and brush in Retchie Canyon, north of Moreno Valley. One firefighter was treated at a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Another fire blackened 20 acres north of Lake Elsinore. Near Beaumont, an air and ground battle held another fire to just 10 acres. Near Wrightwood, investigators are seeking the cause of Saturday's 11-acre fire that threatened up to 35 homes. All evacuations were lifted several hours later. And that is the latest in local news. Now it's time for traffic. In Montclair on the 10 eastbound before Archibald Avenue, a crash is blocking the 2 right lanes with stop-and-go traffic from Euclid. In Eastvale, a SIG alert has been canceled on the 15 northbound before Limonite. A stalled rig has been cleared from the lanes, but there's still stop-and-go traffic from the 91. The 15 south is slow from the 10. In San Bernardino on the 215 southbound at 5th Street, a crash is partially blocking the off-ramp. In Colton on the 10 eastbound before the 215, an accident has been cleared, and there's slow traffic from Mount Vernon. In Moreno Valley on the 215 northbound before the 60, an accident has been cleared, and there's slow traffic from Alessandro Boulevard. The 60 west is heavy from Day Street to the 215. This has been your news and traffic from KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker. This report is brought to you by the Ad Council. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Joel Hillsman. For this morning, sunny with a high near 102, light and variable wind out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour during the afternoon, with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 65, west wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Into Tuesday, sunny with a high near 101. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM. 3-in-1, the trifecta of talk in Southern California.
At California's #1 volume GM dealer, Mark Christopher Auto Center, they're cranking up the heat because summer has begun to heat up and the deals have never been hotter. Right now, you can choose from over 1,600 vehicles in their one giant location with down to 0% for 72 months on selected models. Christopher Auto Center, right on the 10 freeway in Ontario, or you can go to markchristopher.com. Mark Christopher is California's #1 volume GM dealer. Family owned and doing things right since 1975. Remember, they're cranking up the heat on summer deals at Mark Christopher Auto Center, Vineyard exit of Interstate 10 in Ontario.
This is KCAA.
This radio broadcast may contain various pieces of information about various types of investments and strategies and investment philosophies. This information does not constitute any advice related to any individual's personal finance, nor should it be construed as a recommendation as it pertains to a portfolio of assets. None of the content should be construed as solicitation to buy or sell securities or any other investments. The opinions represented in this broadcast regarding investment strategies, or investment philosophies each involve risk factors and other considerations that should not be acted upon without consulting a licensed qualified investment professional.
Live from beautiful Newport Beach, it's Sam and Co's on the money, where waking up and not having to worry about money is closer than you think. Good morning, Co's. How's it going?
Good morning, Sam. Good morning, world. It's going great. We had an interesting weekend in weather. I thought, we were well into summer, and all of a sudden we're down in the 50s, snow on the mountains. And but here we are on a Monday, beautiful Monday here in Newport Beach. Great weather. There's some great surf out there. Saw the dolphins, and I didn't see any sharks out there, but everything's looking good for the surfing community here in Newport and Huntington Beach. How was your weekend?
Well, while you guys were experiencing the rain, I was in 110-degree weather over in Phoenix.
That's right. You were way out there in the wild, wild west.
The wild, wild west. So I was out there, working and also for some fun, But no, I mean, I guess how can it be fun if you're spending some time in 110-degree weather? Well, if you're inside a hockey rink, it's about 50 degrees, so you're okay. But
nice
you catch
hockey
a cold.
rink.
Yeah, you catch a cold though because you keep going from cold to hot to cold to hot, and it was blazing. It was blazing. So, but I will say is that driving up there is always really nice because you get to see these really nice golf courses. All these mounds, and it's like
from a distance.
Yeah, I couldn't
In your
play.
case.
No, we couldn't play. How you doing? How was your weekend?
Well, let's see. It was fantastic as always. Caitlin, as some of you listeners might know, is a golfer. She had a tournament. She did very well. It's a small field, about 12 girls. She placed about 6, and she learned a lot about her game and what she needs to change up. So we're working on, just coaching her, working with her, and it actually rained on her, so but she had her rain gear already, and it's like we say in the money world, it's all about preparation. She was pretty well prepared, so she had a good tournament. But man, there's some girls out there that can they played better than 99% of the men out there. And these girls are they're only some of them are maybe 14 or not even 14, and Caitlin's 15. Her group was a bunch of 15-year-olds, but man, this one girl was hitting her drives probably about, I'd say about 230, 240, and just skinny little girl.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it's straight as an arrow every time. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just trying to get used to the cold again. But we got out and did our thing. Had a date with Sherry, and so it was a pretty well balanced weekend.
All right.
Anyway,
man.
So
it's balanced, and we got some more questions from people.
Right. So
some interesting stuff that we filtered through a bunch of stuff, and we got quite a bit.
Right. Now, I notice this is from another beach community here in Southern California. Randy from Hermosa Beach. Randy says that I'm 55 years old. I make $130,000 per year. My wife is 53 years old, and she makes $60,000.
All right, so we got $190,000 there.
We have 3 wonderful kids. One of them is a senior this year in high school, and we wanted to know how we can qualify for the FAFSA.
Yeah.
We have about $60,000 in credit card debt, but we've been piling money into our retirement assets at about 15% of our pay for 20-plus years. Great job.
Yeah, some really good stuff here. 20 years, piling 15%. If you think about it, they've got close to $200,000 in income. Wow, I mean, that's, I'd probably have to say, Randy, you probably have a pretty nice, sizable retirement nest egg all set up, especially at the age of, 55, and you're 55 and your wife's 53? What a great deal. That's awesome. But, I mean, basically, I'm looking at here, Coase, is one of, in the sentence here, it says one of them is a senior this year in high school, and we wanted to know how we can qualify for FAFSA. And that's a free application for federal student aid. And, I'm going to tell you, I mean, we're not absolute experts on FAFSA in any way whatsoever, but it is a government, it's a federal aid, and you get a Pell Grant. And typically, if you are broke and if you're poor, you qualify for these things, right, such as welfare. And I'm not saying that FAFSA is welfare because I know that there's over $1 trillion in loans right now in student aid. So, but it's one of these things where it's interesting is that, first and foremost, we're trying to tell people to make sure that they get their debt under control. And by getting their debt under control, they can go ahead and start cash flowing their income. And the issue here with this question is how can they qualify for FAFSA, student aid, Pell Grants, which ultimately throws them into that tier of student loans at a very high interest rate. And it's probably something that you want to try to avoid if you can.
I would say if that really is an important goal, then lose your job, right? Lose the other job. I mean, basically, you want to disqualify yourself so that you can qualify for these things. So, but we know that that's more of a joke. Obviously, no one's going to want to give up $130,000 a year plus another $60,000. I mean, that's a great living here, even by California standards. So
I think really he should rephrase the question in saying how, as opposed to, and we could be completely wrong. He might be 100%. This is his question. How can they qualify for FAFSA? But like you said, by qualifying, you've got to go ahead and lose your job and throw yourself into the poverty level, or not necessarily poverty, but you've got to make a lot less income than $190,000 combined. My take. And my take is that you've got some really good assets outside possibly, but also FAFSA looks at not necessarily your retirement assets. Those are completely protected. They don't look at that. But what they do look at is contributions to your retirement assets over the past couple of years. So if you're contributing 15% of $200,000 roughly, so you're contributing quite a bit of money here. You're contributing $30,000 a year. FAFSA is going to look at that, add it back to your income, and they make that determination of whether or not you're going to go ahead and get some student loan. But here's the thing. Here's a kicker, Coase. Let's just say you do qualify and you do get it, and you got 3 kids here, Randy. The first kid going through, I don't know how old the other 2 are, but let's just say they're just consecutive. They're going back. They're going left and right. And you got about maybe a $30,000 a year, tuition, right? So you got 3 kids. That's about $90,000 a year. Well, 3 of them are going at the same time. There's that overlap. So let's just fast forward it. You've got probably about $150,000, maybe $200,000 in student loans. You are 55 years old. The last one doesn't finish school until maybe you're 62 or 63. That particular point, it's when you've got an extra $200,000 in debt, you don't necessarily. You won't necessarily be in a grand position, and you might end up tapping into those retirement assets, which is right now, as far as we're concerned, golden, because you've done a great job. I can only imagine, because $200,000 a year, piling away 15% of that income for the past 20 years, you've got quite a bit of money, Randy. That's of course if you didn't treat your retirement plan like an ATM over the past 15, 20 years.
Right now, I noticed, just looking at the $60,000 in credit card debt, that's not a $6,000 credit card debt. That's a $60,000 credit card debt. So there's some attention that needs to be paid to that. And maybe what needs to be considered here is backing off on the 15% contributions to the retirement plan assets and diverting some of that to relieve the credit card debt.
Yeah,
credit card debt tends to be pretty high in interest rate, especially at that level of balance.
60,000.
Yeah.
But I think there's some missing data here, but we can probably fill it in. If you've got some assets outside this in a savings account, and it doesn't necessarily affect any issues with regards to emergency money, you might want to go ahead and start aggressively going after that $60,000. Just really get angry and just go ahead and go after that $60,000 with a vengeance. So. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So there's two issues here. First of all, you don't necessarily want to qualify for FASMA. Secondly, you've got $60,000 in debt that you want to definitely get rid of. You are 55 in the mid-50s, and you're really what we like to say, you're in your retirement red zone. You're about 5 to maybe 7 years away from really considering and thinking about retirement. And you definitely want to go ahead and get on the fast track. I think you did something really good here. You did something really great, and that's have 20%, 15%, 20-plus years in retirement. So we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back, and we'll get back to these questions. You're listening to Sam and Co's On the Money.
Inland Body and Paint is a family-owned and operated fleet collision and repair shop that's proud to live in and help our community. Bring your heavy-duty trucks and or equipment to their Fleet Collision and Paint Center in Fontana for expert collision repair services. With 35 years of experience, you're sure to receive quality workmanship at an excellent price from Inland Body and Paint Center. From fiberglass repairs to quality painting, they'll take care of your truck and equipment from top to bottom in their new 64-foot spray booth. By the way, Inland Body and Paint of Fontana repaired and repainted the KCAA truck, and they can do the same job for your car, truck, or heavy-duty equipment. Inland Body and Paint, dedicated to the community and to your satisfaction. Call them today to learn what they can do for you. You can find Inland Body and Paint on Valencia in Fontana. Call them at 909-434-0466 or online at inlandbodyandpaint.com.
Hi, folks. Let's wind the clocks back 60 years. Food was different. Food provided health and nutrition, and using supplements was minimal. Unfortunately, now we have chemicals, GMOs, herbicides, and pesticides that can be quite lethal in the name of our food supply and, of course, the ever-loving dollar. Supplementing our diets can be very important to stay healthy. Cleansing from daily intruders to the body might be critical. Live strong and take charge. Log on to GetTheTea.com. Our herbal tea is a great way to cleanse from intruders. Our supplements is a great way to maintain and improve your health. When your health is not up to par, go to GetTheTea.com. No GMOs, no fillers, and organic, and very helpful in keeping you at the top of your game. Life is too short to feel, you know what I mean. Stay in the game, at the top of your game with GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Again, GetTheTea.com.
So you missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. Even if you've already enrolled but are not satisfied with your choice, you can switch to Liberty HealthShare today. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care by allowing them to choose any doctor or hospital across the country, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. So members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on those without health care insurance, giving you freedom from insurance. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll any time of the year, call 855-585-4237, 855-585-4237, or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Not available in Pennsylvania.
Go on an adventure. Embark on a once-in-a-lifetime adventure at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Experience Africa, the tram, Cheetah Run, Lemur Walk, and the award-winning Tiger Trail, always included with admission. And make your day more wild with safari experiences like Flightline, Caravan, behind-the-scenes tours, and Roar and Snore sleepovers. Safaris depart daily at San Diego Zoo, safaripark.org, where every day is a safari.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Sam and Coz on the Money on a beautiful Monday. And Coz, you wanted to address something in our last
right. So
session.
Before the break, we were talking about FAFSA, which is it's a program offered through the government for people needing to get a loan for education.
Right, the free application for federal student aid.
And it's a great program for people who need it. But one point of clarity is that if a person qualifies, and they do need to requalify every year, but let's just assume a person in college qualifies all throughout the years of college, and accrues what's called a loan. It's basically a debt situation. You become eligible to get a loan from the government to fund education. So you get out of college, you got your degree. Just keep in mind you owe on that loan, and the interest rates are not that modest. And so, from a financial planning standpoint, just wanted to stress that point is that it is a loan, and you're going to pay on it with a pretty good interest rate.
Yeah. I actually ran into someone this past weekend who said they had a $670,000 student loan. A $670,000 student loan. It was through their 4 years, and then they became doctors. So him and his fiance, I guess, they're going to be married here pretty soon. They have a $670,000 student loan, and I look at it like, okay, so after your residency as being a doctor, both of you, somewhere wherever it's going to be, you make, I don't know, maybe $100,000 a year is what they said, and then it wasn't a specialty in any way whatsoever. It was just really general medicine, and not that was a bad thing. It's an honorable thing, But the fact of the matter is that they've got close to $700,000 in a student loan, and these guys really put themselves way, way, way behind the eight ball, and they've got to go ahead and make sure that they can get out of this and really just bury their heads and get rid of that, because that could really linger for a very, very long while.
Well, we were talking about one thing during the break, and that was, what was the cost of education back in our days? Now, we're not spring chickens. We got kids that are in high school, and so you can kind of gather what our age is. But I went to college in the early '80s, so I just dated myself, carbon dating to call it. And
carbon dating, I like that.
Yeah, carbon dating, and. I went to a UC system here in California, and the quarterly tuition was $276 for the first quarter.
That's awesome.
$276 for a quarter, and you have 3 quarters during a year. So figure not even $1,000 for a year's education at an outstanding institution.
Yeah. I think mine was like $6 a unit.
Yeah.
Each unit was 3. Each class was 3 units. It was like $18 to take the class.
Right. So one generation later. What are kids paying now? $30,000 a year for the same thing?
Easily.
And so, I guess I'm bringing this up, listeners, because college is great. Education is very, very important. Do it. You must do it. But you also have to think of it as it's a business. Okay, you're getting an education to further your life, and you've got to think about what's the return on investment. You don't have to. This is just my opinion. But think about the return on investment. Does it make sense to have a $600,000 loan going through medical school when you're going to make $100,000 a year? And how long is it going to take to pay out that loan? I mean, you've got to figure out, okay, what is the business plan here? Utilizing this college education, understanding what the cost of it's going to be, how long it's going to take to relieve that debt based on the income that you're going to get. There's too many people we run across that are enamored by the idea of having a degree, and they have no business plan for that degree. So, not criticizing, I'm just offering a point of view that I think ought to be considered.
Well, I think that, a lot of things have to be considered today and spent differently than before. Is that before we can graduate with a history degree and realize that there's probably not a heck of a whole lot of positions out there that immediately are going to offer $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year with a history degree. And I'm not saying anything bad about a history degree, but at the same time, if you're going to go into debt to the tune of about $150,000 to $200,000 so that your kid graduates with a liberal arts or a history degree and not really a targeted degree of some type of skill that they can go out in the workforce and start making some money in, then you just hit it right on the nail right on the head, Coz, is that you talked about an ROI, return on investment, and there's probably not going to be a return on investment because either the parent or the kid is going to be having to sacrifice and really, eat bean burritos for the majority of their life over the next 12 or 15 years.
Yeah, and to me it's disturbing because I can't rationalize how cost of education could be what it is today. I mean, the UC system that I went to is still the UC system. What's different? They got a few more parking lots, a few more buildings, a little more, more places to eat at. But how does that justify a $30,000 annual tuition? And maybe I'm off on that number a bit because I'm sort of guessing what it is, but I can't be that far off compared to $1,000 back in my day.
Well, it's kind of like this. Is like my kids just went to their dentist not long ago, and never once did I ask the dentist, "Hey, so where did you graduate and get your degree from?" before you open my kid's mouth and pull out his tooth. Because I got to make sure that you graduated from a really good college before you yank his tooth out. I mean, when's the last time? And I could talk about personal experience. When my family law attorney, he didn't graduate from a Ivy League or in any of that case when it comes to law, but he's one of the top attorneys out there. And so, it's not one of these things where we, constantly people are judged by where they graduated from, even though, to a certain extent in the older circles that has a lot to do with it. But, going forward, I mean, I've never once asked an individual to say, "Hey, what's your degree?" So before we go into this, let me know where you graduated from. So, yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with, and my opinion is and this is what concerns me about the individuals graduating today is that there's not necessarily a need for work. I think, as we look to employ people here, Coz, is that we talk to people and, they're graduating. We like to see, did they work while they were in school? Because if they worked while they were in school, then they were able to juggle a full load of classes as well as work anywhere between 25 to 40 hours. And that shows a tremendous amount of responsibility, not just going through school and just saying, "Hey, here I am in the workforce, go ahead and hire me." So it's really important that they get some type of responsibility out there, and there's nothing better than going out there and actually, put some skin in the game and working.
Good point. All right, so let's move on here. Next question is from Tricia from Glendale. Hi, guys. My husband and I are 61 years old, and we are worried that we will be working well into our 70s before we can retire. We just got done paying for our last kid to go to school.
We just talked about this.
Yeah, she graduates this month. We've done this 4 times already and are so blessed and thankful we were able to do it. The issue is that it took all of our spending power to get them through school. We like to think that the time is ours now and that our responsibilities is just to ourselves, but we're so behind the 8 ball that it's scary. We have $50,000 saved for retirement. We don't have any debt, and we make a combined $110,000 a year. We've got 15 years left on our mortgage, which we owe $175,000 on. Our friends and family told us we'd be in this position by helping our kids too much, and now here we are.
And now here we are, always, right? Family and friends are always there at the very end to say, "I told you so." But at the same time, I mean, there's so many other things. And here's the thing, is that last statement right there, they had to go ahead and throw that in. I'd rather not have that statement in there because that just tells me that they're really, to a certain extent, kind of not content. It's like, why are you caring about what your family and friends have said and what position you'd be in? As far as we're concerned, I mean, you did awesome by putting 4 kids to school because that's what I'm seeing here. We've done this 4 times already and are so blessed and thankful we were able to do it. So you were able to do it. Did they say they had no debt? Yeah, no, we don't have any debt, so that means there's no student loan. So you guys put kids through school, 4 kids through school, and Trish, I got to tell you, to have no student loan, 4 kids through school, you have a combined income of $110,000 a year. That's pretty awesome. So for individuals to be thinking about, well, hey, you'd be in this situation because you care about your kids too much, I got to tell you, hey, let's not listen to them. You did very, very well. But I think here, this is the key. $50,000 in retirement, you're 61 years old, and you're afraid that you're going to be working well into your 70s. And that seems to be a significant dichotomy in this age that we live in right now, Coz. And, we're about to go to break in a couple of minutes, but this is going to really take a little bit longer than about 2 minutes to talk about. But I will tell you this. The saving grace is this. I'm seeing here that you make a combined income of $110,000. That tells me, Tricia, that if for 10 more years, let's just say you work till 71, okay, so for 10 more years, you will make close to $1.1 million. All right, that's the bright spot, because if you were to be very aggressive with regards to how you handled your education, how you handled your children's education, because very clear you were very aggressive, you saved, you did everything you could, and you put 4 kids through college. If you can take that same tenacity and you can apply it to your retirement, and you can overfund your retirement assets, you can go ahead and go after it with that same vengeance that allowed for you to go ahead and have your kids graduate, then I can tell you right now that you're going to have that $1.1 million in income earned in 10 years. You should be able to go ahead and have about $400,000 to $500,000 there if you go at it with the same tenacity. It's going to take some time. You're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but that's okay, because we can't really talk about the past. We can only talk about the present, right?
Right, and it takes, besides time, it's going to take a plan and a strategy. So you need to get together with somebody. This is a great opportunity to throw a number out there. If you guys need some planning, a second opinion, some consulting, there's no cost. Our number is 800-640-81. Excuse me, 1-800-640-8105. We're going to break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Sam and Co's On the Money.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm Sharon Reed. Paris police say a man who drove a car into a police van in the Champs-Élysées shopping district this morning has been taken down. French news agency AFP quotes police as saying the driver was on the ground, unconscious. The car burst into flames after hitting the van in front of a police station. Police did not say whether the crash was accidental or deliberate. A van attack this morning on Muslim worshippers leaving a London mosque is being treated as an act of terror. 1 person's dead, 8 more are hurt after someone drove a vehicle into pedestrians. British Prime Minister Theresa May's praising the bystanders who grabbed the man allegedly behind the wheel.
The driver of the van, a white man aged 48, was bravely detained by members of the public at the scene and then arrested by police. The early assessment by the police is that the attacker acted alone.
May condemned the early morning attack as sickening and evil. Sharon Reed, NBC News Radio.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Montclair, an accident has been cleared, and there's some stop-and-go traffic on the 10 eastbound before Archibald Avenue. Stop-and-go traffic from Central Avenue. In Eastvale, and there's a SIG alert that's been canceled on the 15 northbound before Limonite Avenue. A stalled big rig has been cleared from the right lanes, and there's still stop-and-go traffic from Hidden Valley Parkway. In Moreno Valley, on the 215 northbound before the 60, an accident has been cleared. There's slow traffic from Alessandro Boulevard. The 60 west is heavy from Day Street to the 215. And finally in San Bernardino on the 215 southbound at 5th Street, a crash has been cleared from the off-ramp. This has been your traffic from KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Our pollen defluor is on special. Key help if you're waking up at night to urinate. Natural support for the bladder, prostate, urinary, immune, and menopausal health. Buy 2 bottles, get the third one free. Call 800-370-3447. And you can visit us online at qnlabs.com.
Erin here from On the Brink Morning Show, where we talk about all that is engaging in the Inland Empire. News, politics, business, family, things to do, and so much more. Join us weekdays from 6 to 7 a.m. on KCAA 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 a.m. or on kcaaradio.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and you're listening to Sam and Co's On the Money, and yeah, Co's, we were talking a little bit about Trisha in between the break, and just a few things that come to mind. I mean, yeah, again, Trisha, again, this is the individual that they had 4 kids that they put through school. They're both 61 years old. They're concerned about working until their 70s or into their 70s because they've only saved up $50,000 for retirement. And, before the break, we were saying just, go after that retirement. Go after retirement in the same tenacity that you went after putting your kids through school, because obviously, that took that bulldog type of tenacity. But here's the thing. One of the pitfalls that can transpire is you got to be very careful and make sure that, Dumb and Dumber and Dumbest don't come popping out. And what I mean by that is there's also that possibility that children need they need a wedding. They need cars. They need some money. And you're absolutely right. You did say that this is your time now, that the responsibilities are to yourself. And to be quite honest with you, Tricia, your responsibilities is always going to be to yourself. I mean, that's who you have to be. You got to be as selfish as you possibly be, in a good sense, because if there is no you, there is no them. And your husband has to feel the same way, as all individuals have to feel, is that if there is no you, there is no them. So going back, Trish, I would probably say you've got to really, really exercise self-discipline here. Go after retirement. You're making $110,000 combined. You're probably in the 35% tax bracket. You probably have good amount of money to go ahead and just stock up and save, maximize those retirement accounts that you have, that your husband and yourself have. Even go as far out as, if you've got more money, to go ahead and start up Roth IRAs if you possibly can outside that. But like I said, attack it with a vengeance. Go after retirement to the point where, hopefully, I'm thinking over a 10-year period, that $1.1 million, you'll be able to save anywhere between $400,000 and $500,000 at a pretty decent rate of return. I mean, that could be a little bit more than that. So, but you got to be careful. And the key and the reason why we're readdressing it is you got to be careful, because over the next 10 years, Dumb and Dumber is going to pop out of the woodshed, and it's going to take some money, because as you can tell, you said you just had a graduate right here. We don't know how many kids you have as far as that, if they're men or they're...
Right, there could be one or two who are married, maybe even kids.
Right.
So now you've got grandkids, and grandkids, you dote on them, you want to spoil them, and it costs money to do that. And so you can fall into another trap where, even though you're done paying for 4 kids' college, now you're paying for maybe 4 more kids, or 4 more grandkids, and maybe even more on the way. Where you're spending money like a good grandparent. But what's really good, because in the end, if you get when you can't work anymore, you can't function very well, you don't want to become a burden. I mean, the kids, the last thing they want is a parent that becomes a burden to them.
Right, and this recently came into a conversation, is that we've got contacts whose children just graduated from Ole Miss, and they came on back. They live back here in Southern California, but guess what? She came back home with a fiancé. And so now they're planning on getting married this time next year, and it's going to be a pretty elaborate wedding. They're looking somewhere in L.A., because L.A. is about 50% cheaper in Orange County. And when I talk about cheaper or more inexpensive, they're thinking, well, instead of spending $200,000 on the wedding, they're thinking about spending $100,000. It'd be $100,000 less in L.A. So long story short is that these things can transpire. And believe me, I'm already thinking about that, and I've already planted in my kids' heads, like, hey, you are not doing this, you're not doing that. You come home with an unexpected visitor, man. It's going to be, I got to tell you, because, because I got 6 of them. But here's the thing, is that you've got 10 years. And the key over the next 10 years is exercising self-discipline over the next 10 years, and just focus on yourselves and be as selfish as possible. And you people are going to be, looking for handouts from time to time. You're still going to be mom and dad, and these are the key things that you got definitely
right. And part of that discipline is coming up with a strategy, a plan. Even things like looking at your budget and understanding what your needs are, what your spending needs to be. And part of that budget is to have a provision for what needs to be socked away for retirement. And once you have that laid out, then you've got a plan, you've got a strategy, you've got something that you could put your fingers on and revisit it and review it, every once in a while. So our recommendation, excuse me, I'm just trying to get over a cold. I keep forgetting to turn away from the mic, so hope your eardrums are doing all right. But the opportunity is always there, whether it's with us or anyone else. But sit down with somebody who can help put a plan together. And so our number is 800-640-8105. Anyone out there that needs to sit down and just sort of talk about things, needs somebody like us to come up with a strategy or some recommendations, some planning, whatever it may be. Our number is 800-640-8105. So we're going to move on here with Russell from Rubidoux. Russell says, I've got a bit over $2 million saved for retirement in my company 401k. I'm 58 years old, and I want to buy a car I always dreamed of when I was in my teens. I have my eyes set on a 69 Stingray that costs $60,000. I don't have any savings outside my retirement.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to tell you something here. What's his name? Russell, right? Russell from Rubidoux. All I know is you've got $2 million saved for retirement in your company 401k plan. You're 58. That means you're a year and a half away from getting to that threshold where you will be able to take money out without the 10% penalty. Of course, there's other ways. We talked about it on the show. But here in this case, you're 50, you're 58, you're a year and a half away from the magical 59.5 number, and you want to buy a brand new car. No, actually not. It's not a brand new car. It's a 69 Stingray. Those are actually pretty cool. I like those.
Better than brand new.
Yeah, those are not. Wow, $60,000.
Vintage.
Wow, $60,000. I'm surprised it's that inexpensive. And you don't have any savings outside of retirement. I think you had to put that in there because you know for a fact that one of our questions that we would ask is, do you have savings outside retirement? Because I think you know very well, Russell, that you're asking us for permission to take money out of your retirement account to go ahead and pay for this. Now, I will tell you, here's the key. It is the key. So it's $60,000. You're looking to take out probably $100,000 because, Russell, you probably do realize that there are going to be penalties and there's going to be taxes. And, you save $2 million. There's a good chance that you're not making $30,000 a year. So I will have to tell you that, and this is hard, this is pretty tough, because if you take out $100,000 and you pay $40,000 in taxes and penalties, and it's really closer to like 50%. So if you take out 100, that's kind of like having, that's a 40%. I mean, that's a 40 to 50% interest. That's 40%. I mean, that's half your money. Russell, this is half your money that's going into this car. But now I'm going to backtrack a bit, because even though I'm telling you right now that doesn't make sense, I'm going to tell you right now that this is your prerogative now, because you have earned the right to do it. And the reason why I'm saying you earned the right to do it is because you've got $2 million saved up. You did your job. You did everything you could. You got $2 million. You're 58 years old. And if you want to spend $60,000 on a car that you want to go ahead and drive around, it's your childhood dream, you've earned the right to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to tell you, hey, man, no, you can't do that, because the fact of the matter is you got $2 million.
Now, having said that, we are making some assumptions here that the $2 million is, more than adequate for his living needs. So, I mean, if the guy needs, $20,000 a month to live on, then it'd be a different story. But we're assuming he's more of the average case, where maybe he needs, I don't know, $4,000 to $6,000 a month. So,
right.
So we're making some certain assumptions here, but not too many people have $2 million saved and can just go and, without blinking an eye, extract, $100,000 to cover the cost of the car, as well as taxes and potential penalties based on your age. It may not be an issue. As Sam says, you may have earned that right.
Yeah, you earn that right, man. I mean, it's tough. The one thing that's tough for me is having to pay all that money to the government. And anytime you can keep Uncle Sam's hands off of your money, the better. And let's face it. So you're about a year and a half away. You're going to be able to go ahead and at least take 10% off the equation. So you're going to save yourself $10,000 in penalties, but at the same time, there's still going to be some taxes involved. And but at that particular point, that's what you want. Now, here's the reverse. Let's just say you started off this email by saying that you got $200,000 saved for retirement, not $2 million, and you're 58 years old. If you got $200,000 saved for retirement, you want to buy a 69 Stingray that costs you $60,000, then we're basically going to go ahead and tell you that Dumb and Dumber has officially reared its ugly head. Right? I mean, that just makes no sense in any way whatsoever. And of course, knowing the situation, knowing what's transpiring, exactly what Coase said, we don't know how much money you need to live off in retirement. We don't know what your fixed expenses are versus your variable expenses. The luxury needs, this is one luxury need that you have. But, again, let's really take a look at this. If you've got $200,000 saved up and you're 58 and you're looking to take out $60,000 for pleasure, then that's really on you, and that makes no sense whatsoever. But with your case, $2 million, hey, you're doing good. So we're going to take a break in just a minute here, and we're going to be right back. We're going to go ahead and finish up our final leg to On the Money with Sam and Coase. We'll be right back in just a minute.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
At California's #1 volume GM dealer, Bar Christopher Auto Center, they're cranking up the heat because summer has begun to heat up and the deals have never been hotter. Right now, you can choose from over 1,600 vehicles in their one giant location with down to 0% for 72 months on selected models. It's California's biggest and best selection, and it's never undersold. Chevys, Buicks, Cadillacs, and GMC trucks. You'll find Mark Christopher Auto Center right on the 10 freeway in Ontario, or you can go to markchristopher.com. Mark Christopher is California's #1 volume GM dealer. Family owned and doing things right since 1975. Remember, they're cranking up the heat on summer deals at Mark Christopher Auto Center, Vineyard exit of Interstate 10 in Ontario.
According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, texting while driving is on the rise and quickly becoming a leading cause of traffic accidents and fatalities. Please do your part. Put the phone down when driving. The life you save may just be your own or that of a loved one. That's courtesy of Happy Family Vegetarian Cuisine, serving our listeners with quality, reliability, and integrity. They care about your total satisfaction. Remember, you're a friend and your patronage is valued and catered to. That's Happy Family Vegetarian Cuisine at 909-783-8928.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family. Our pollen defleur is on special. Natural support for the bladder, prostate, urinary, immune, and menopausal health. Pollen defleur is a non-solvent flower pollen extract from rye pollen. Flower pollen extracts contain high levels of amino acids, antioxidants, and phytosterols. Pollen defleur also delivers bioflavonoids, key help if you're waking up at night to urinate. Buy 2 bottles, get the third one free. Call 800-370-3447. That's 800-370-3447. And you can visit us online at qnlabs.com. That's qnlabs.com. Experience nutrition that really works.
KCAA.
All right. Listening through. That's sped up there. Yeah, I love it. Anyways, hey, You listen to Sam and Co's On the Money. There's that choo-choo train thing towards the end. I love that. Yeah, I know, huh? But, I mean, going back again, we keep going. This segment seems to be that we're going back to the previous segment before break. But we were talking about Russell and his desire for that 69 Stingray. He's got $2 million, $60,000. Let's just assume we were talking off air, that if you had that same amount of money, $2 million, and you were looking to go ahead and pay off your home because your home, let's just say you had $100,000 or $150,000 left on your home, and you really wanted to get it off. Well, if you wanted to get it off the books, again, you earned the right to do that. But then again, if you got $150,000, you got to go ahead and take out $300,000 because of tax and penalties to the tune of maybe 40 to 50%. So could you wait a year and a half? Absolutely. You could do that. You could save yourself 10%. But at the same time, it's really you get to a position in life where you've kind of you've earned the right to do whatever it is you want to do because you've done the right thing for so many years. So anyways, hey, let's move on to Tucker.
All right, Tucker from Palos Verdes. Tucker says, how will the Trump tax plan help with retirement? How will the Trump tax plan help with retirement?
Yeah, that's interesting. That was a
very short but huge question.
Yeah.
Huge. I just say huge.
Huge. Yeah. I kind of missed that. I missed that. But I mean, let's talk about it. So for one thing, I mean, there's several proposals that, of course, are going to be met with a lot of resistance in Congress. But let's just talk about them real quick. What are the proposals right now that Trump is looking to do? He's looking to reduce the number of tax brackets to 3 brackets, right? From wherever they are right now to 10 to 25 and 35%. Those are going to be the tax brackets. He's also looking to repeal the estate tax as well as repeal the 3.8 tax on investment income. And he's looking to go ahead and repeal the alternative minimum tax. So I think one of the key issues is he's looking to also double the standard deduction, which could really help. So how can this help with retirement? Now, and the other thing, too, he's looking to go ahead and reduce, as far as taxation is concerned on businesses, he's looking to go ahead and cut taxes on businesses to 15%. So this definitely does promote a lot of value for investors out there, for people looking to save for retirement. Because I would probably say that the one thing that really stands out is that there's a possibility that you're going to be in a lower tax bracket. And if you're in a lower tax bracket, you can certainly reconsider or consider taking pre-tax money that you have in maybe an IRA. And depending on that tax bracket that you would be in, a lower tax bracket, you could start thinking about converting those funds into a Roth IRA. And these are some of the concepts that we've talked about. I remember back in the 7, 8, 9 years ago, when individuals, the market was harrowed, it wasn't doing very well. People have left their works as their jobs as engineers. They got a nice 401k rollover to become real estate agents. And what happened was that the real estate market had fallen out from underneath them, and they weren't making any income when it comes to buying or to selling homes. And what ended up happening was that they had $500,000 in a 401k plan, and because they had zero income for that year because they couldn't sell, the market was so weak they couldn't sell a house worth their life. So they had zero income. They actually had like pretty much negative income because they had their interest that they were paying, their tax write-off with regards to the mortgage that they were paying. So that was a great opportunity at that point to convert money from a pre-taxed account such as an IRA and convert it into a Roth 401k because their income was so low that it kept them in the 15% tax bracket. So this proposal that he put on the table potentially has that making where we might be in this position again, depending on the 3 tax brackets and depending on your tax bracket, of course, is if it's low enough, you might want to consider converting into a Roth IRA. Because we all know the Roth is one of the best vehicles that you could possibly get. And here, let's face it, he may decrease tax brackets right now, and we might be in a tax bracket, a favorable tax bracket scenario for quite a while, but there's no question we have massive debt, and there's going to be an individual in office one day who's going to have to raise taxes once again. And if you can take advantage of the position right now where you can convert funds into a Roth IRA during that time in life over the next maybe 10 or 15 years where the taxes start rising again, you'll be in a much, much better situation. But then again, Coz, I mean, this is all really kind of, it's going to be met with a lot of resistance.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of people who, excuse me, a lot of people who have actually the opposite view, and that's fine. There are people who believe that tax rates will be lower in the future, and that they'll face a lower tax bracket during retirement. If that is your belief, then that's fine, because you may be right. And if you're right, then it the Roth strategy may not make the most sense for you. But if you are, in our school of thought, which is, we know there's a massive debt bubble. We're looking at $21 trillion in debt. We've got a medical system that's underfunded. We have Social Security that's underfunded, so on and so forth. I mean, there's student debt. I mean, we are a debt-laden society. And so, unfortunately, as the United States of America, we don't have the option to declare bankruptcy.
No, we don't.
And so our only option is to find a way to pay off that debt. Well, the government's in the business of collecting taxes. That's the only way they can do it, or through penalties and or both. And so, again, that's our opinion. And as costs are going to go up, and the cost is going to be in the form of taxes. So if I'm a betting man, I like the Roth strategy. Moving on, Catherine from Anaheim wrote in, my husband and I want to retire next year, but are afraid the markets are too high. All our assets are in the market and mutual funds. Our concern is that if the market gets hit hard, how will that hurt our retirement years? You guys speak a lot about people who lived through 2008, had to wait 5 years to break even. Great question.
Yeah, no, we do definitely talk about that, because it's a known fact. I mean, people had to wait 5 years for a break even. I mean, can you imagine? You're 60 years old, you retired in 2008, and you had to wait till you're 65 until your money came back to normal? I mean, that's without any distributions, right, Coase?
I know people who had to do that.
Yeah.
Personally, I know people.
Right. And here's the thing. I mean, Catherine, you brought up a really, really good point here. And, we like to talk about this and discuss this quite a bit, because it's a little more complex, and a lot of people really don't talk about it. It's called the sequence of returns. And basically the sequence of returns is you'll get a situation where, depending on what type of return you get when you retire, is going to really set the standard for your retirement years. So for instance, let's just go ahead and say that a person is retiring, because there's not really enough information on Catherine's message here as far as data is concerned. But let's just say that you have two individuals, and they retire with both $500,000, so $500,000, right? And they average 7% over the next 10 years, 7%. However, it's not straight 7% every single year. What happens is that this person retires. Let's just say it's Catherine. She retires, and in the very first 3 years, the market's down. Okay, and it's down 21%, 4%, and 5.3% over the course of the first 3 years that she retires. So we got not a great market. However, in the final 7 years, the market's positive the whole time. In the last 2 years, finishing off at 14.8, call it 15 and 20%. So here we are. We're in a situation where that $500,000, even because the market went down the first 3 years, and there's a withdrawal rate of about $30,000 to live off of. Okay, so
right.
They're taking out $30,000. After 10 years, that $500,000 in theory is worth $367,000. So that $500,000, even after taking $30,000 a year for 10 years, is worth $367,000. Now let's compare that to the other situation. The other individual, same thing, $500,000. They started out. However, instead of the first 3 years being negative, the last 3 years of the 10-year period is negative. So that person at $500,000 starts out with 7 years of a positive rate of return, and the last 3 years is negative. It still averages 7%. Okay, it still averages 7%. But that $500,000 is worth $597,000 as opposed to the $367,000 for $130,000 more. But what's really interesting here is that somewhere around like year 7, the $500,000 is worth close to $1 million at $940,000. So it really depends on the sequence of returns. And I think this is the one thing, this is the one misnomer that people really don't talk about is there's that potential when people retire. There has to be an understanding of the sequence of returns and making sure that your assets are protected, and to a certain degree, even, and you can't really say the word guaranteed on air, but there are few assets out there, few vehicles that you can actually utilize to protect your principal. So in retirement years, especially with the market so high, Catherine, you definitely want to be put in a position, or you want to look in a position where you can try to protect your income or protect your principal as much as you possibly can, because you're absolutely right. We could be down for another year or 2 years or 3 years. We just have no idea what's lurking right around the corner. Great question. Great question.
All right. Well, we're at the end of our show. Another great an hour. We will be back next week.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm John Lesher, CNBC Radio. The Dow is up 117 points, the S&P 500 17. Both are now at all-time highs. The Nasdaq is higher by 74 points. Investors are snapping up beaten down technology stocks. Alphabet, Apple, and Microsoft are leading the rebound. All three are up more than 1%. Americans say they feel good about the economy. A new CNBC All-America Economic Survey finds that optimism about the economy hit 30% for the second straight quarter. This is the first time that's happened. New York Fed President William Dudley, a close ally of Fed Chair Janet Yellen, said this morning that U.S. inflation is a bit low but should rise alongside wages as the labor market continues to improve. And he said that would allow the Fed to continue gradually tightening U.S. monetary policy. Price of oil now back below $45 a barrel on pressure from rising U.S. production. John Lesher, CNBC.
Think about everything you've done to make sure your small business is truly professional. Well, Vistaprint is here to help your business look professional from the very first impression with 500 high-quality business cards starting at $9.99. That's 500 cards for less than $10. Whether you want your business to feel trustworthy with our hand-selected paper stocks or to stand out with brilliant finishes, you'll get the card that fits your business at Vistaprint.com. Just use promo code 6688 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 6688.
And now for something deliciously different from Wendy's. Wendy's Double Stack is still an option in the 4 for $4. With a quarter pound of fresh beef, 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink. That's a deal so good it should not exist. Like how owls shouldn't be able to turn their heads all the way around.
Whew, wouldn't like that deal.
The 4 for $4 with your choice of a double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. A deal so great, it's impossibly good, but not for long.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time. Meal includes 4-piece chicken nuggets, small fries, and a drink. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Not valid in Alaska and Hawaii.
Here's the latest in local news from KCAA, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and 1050 AM. A swimming pool drowning in Temecula has claimed a man's life. CAL FIRE said the victim died Sunday evening at a residence on Fox Road. 5 minor aftershocks within 12 hours followed a magnitude 3.5 earthquake centered near Idlewild on Sunday. The quake got the most attention around Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley, but caused no damage. A $1,000 citation was given to a Riverside homeowner for causing illegal fireworks to ignite a brief grass fire that threatened several homes on Friday. Firefighters responded to a third alarm and pounced on the fast-moving fire, stopping it at 3 acres on Graylock Avenue. And that is the latest in local news. Now it's time for traffic. On the 10 eastbound before Archibald in Montclair, an accident has been cleared. This is on Archibald/Holt, that exit that's in Ontario and stretches into Montclair. There's stop-and-go traffic from Mountain Avenue. In Eastvale, on the 15 northbound before Limonite Avenue, a signaler has been canceled. A stalled rig has been cleared from the right lanes with stop-and-go traffic from Hidden Valley Parkway. In Corona, on the 15 northbound before the 91, a crash is along the right shoulder. And in Moreno Valley, on the 215 northbound before the 60, an accident has been cleared with slow traffic from Alessandro Boulevard. The 60 west is heavy from Day Street to the 215. This has been your news and traffic from KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
At California's #1 volume GM dealer, Bar Christopher Auto Center, they're cranking up the heat because summer has begun to heat up and the deals have never been hotter. Right now, you can choose from over 1,600 vehicles in their one giant location with down to 0% for 72 months on selected models. It's California's biggest and best selection, and it's never undersold. Chevys, Buicks, Cadillacs, and GMC trucks. You'll find Mark Christopher Auto Center right on the 10 freeway in Ontario, or you can go to markchristopher.com. Mark Christopher is California's #1 volume GM dealer. Family owned and doing things right since 1975. Remember, they're cranking up the heat on summer deals at Mark Christopher Auto Center, Vineyard exit of Interstate 10 in Ontario. Now, here's a new concept: digital network advertising, where businesses display your ad inside their building. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, your company is going to thrive with digital network advertising. Choose your marketing sites or jump on the DNA system and advertise with all participants. Your business ad or logo is rotated multiple times an hour inside local businesses where people will discover your company. Digital network advertising, DNA, a novel way to be seen and remembered. Digital network advertising with networks in Redlands and Yucaipa. Call in the 909 area 222-9293 for introductory pricing. That's 909-222-9293 for digital network advertising. One last time, digital network advertising, 909-222-9293.
Hi, this is Bobby Cherry from the DRC Wealth Management Hour. Join us every Monday at 3 p.m. where we talk about investments, insurance, commodities, tax, and legal matters, all on KCAA.
This is KCAA.
This is the Ray Lucia Show.
Coming to the best for the answers here.
The one show that helps you make better money moves. The program all about your money, your business, and your life.
You guys talk about a lot of really good information that even I can understand.
Call Ray now at 844-RAY-SHOW, 844-RAY-SHOW. This is the Ray Lucia Show.
Thank you and welcome. It is indeed the Ray Lucia program. Glad to have you on board. An hour of money power just ahead. Make sure you stick around. It's going to be a really, really big show today. 844-RAY-SHOW. We're guest free this hour. That means I get a chance to educate you and Jim Stewart and myself as well. Whoa, Jim, how you doing there, buddy?
Hey, everything's good today. I just love it. Market just keeps going up.
Record highs, record highs, record highs. It doesn't get much better than that, I know.
I get a little pucker power going every once in a while. But
funny you mention that because we're going to talk a little bit about that because I was reading, it's right here, I was reading about the market sentiment amongst the American Association of Individual Investors, the AAII as it's called. They come out with their sentiment survey, and it shows a less optimism. Here's what's interesting about that, and we will get to this momentarily. It's been going down for a while. Now, these are the individual investors that are supposed to know everything. You know, they have conferences. I've actually spoken in front of a couple of their local groups, and they're very nice people, but they think they know way more than they know. Anyway, they shouldn't really say that out loud. Not all of them. I've met them, and some of them are very, very bright, by the way. But bright doesn't have anything to do with this. Remember, last week we covered that whole subject. Sometimes bright messes you up when it comes to investing. That's a whole other thing. But I'll get to that sentiment in a minute. But there is one thing that I wanted to talk about today, and start with this because it totally contradicts what virtually everybody has said about when you claim your Social Security, including Jim and me. You should wait to take your Social Security because you're going to get 76% more income. And assuming you live until you're 82, 85, whatever the break even is, you'll be ahead of the game. That is true. And so we weren't lying to you. But for certain individuals, it may not make sense. And I'm not talking about those that are going to kick off before they're 85. I'm talking about a different breed. Sit back, folks. Relax. It is the Ray Program, bringing you the best in money information and probably some stuff you hadn't thought about. It rolls off of our tongues as financial people, and I'm sure it's running off of the tongue of your broker, your financial planner, the radio show you listen to, the television program. Delay, 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 because you're going to live longer than you expect, yes, and you're probably going to need more income in retirement, yes, and delaying Social Security is a great annuity contract with a cost of living adjustment that you can't outlive. Yes, yes, and yes. All of that stuff, James, is true. You know that from being a National Social Security Advisor, NSSA. Are you still that too, or you dropped that designation?
No, I'm still doing that.
So you dropped your CFP because you don't want to pay the stupid fees each year and do the continuing ed. Jim's not in the practice any longer. So, I mean, I dropped mine when I got out of the business too. In either event, even you are probably a little bit puzzled by this one, I would think.
Throw it in the computer and see what it says.
All right, well, we're going to throw it into my mental computer here. But Dan Kaplinger from Motley Fool, I remember reading about this and reporting on it a few years ago. You may have heard me, but it reminded me as I was going through my research today and receiving this email from a fellow by the name of Tom, who emailed me asking about the Social Security and when to take it and all this stuff. And Tom has more money than he's ever going to spend. I know it's a blessing, and I know that's not probably you, and it's certainly not me. But Tom has done exceptionally well. He has learned to live well within his means, and he and his wife are actually saving some $72,000 a year. And they want to retire in 2 or 3 years. They've got $1.7 million stashed away. They've got a small pension. They've got Social Security. They don't really need much. So here's my take on this whole business of whether or not Tom should wait. And he was going to wait. He said, should I backfill the amount of time from, age 62 or whatever?
The new word on the street is bloated.
Until age 70, so I can postpone taking the Social Security, and then I've got 76 more money than taking it at 62. That's not true. You won't have more money on the day you die. What you will have is more income on the day you turn age 70. There's a difference. There is a difference. So for those of you who have done very well in your life, and you will have more money than is required, let me go through what Dan Kaplinger had to say about this. Many advisors recommend that if you can afford to wait on claiming Social Security, it's generally smart to do so. Agreed. You can get larger monthly payments if you wait beyond the earliest claiming age of 62, with retirement benefits maxing out at age 70. Agreed. Although the Social Security Administration has noted that the various benefit amounts are designed to leave retirees with roughly equivalent amounts of benefits based on life expectancy, advisors suggest that sacrificing benefits early on in favor of higher benefits later on pays off and makes your retirement more secure. Agreed. In particular, if you add the longevity factor to that discussion. Because when you add longevity, in other words, if you're wealthier and if you're healthier, you're going to live longer. It's just the way it is. So therefore, you beat the odds. It's adverse selection, and you're taking advantage of the government by postponing taking your Social Security. It's as simple as that. If you're going to spend the money to eat. But what if you're not? What if you already have enough money to eat till your heart's content, to travel, to have fun? And really, you could take that Social Security money and invest it. Would you be better off? Here's what he says. When you look at the total benefits received, claiming late typically catches up with claiming early in one's late 70s or early 80s. That's what we call the break-even time. In other words, if you claim later, you could have taken the money at 62, reinvested that money, And then at age, let's call it 81, 82 years, when you're 81 or 82, you will actually be better, you will have been better off having taken the Social Security later rather than early. If you die before that, you're better off taking it early, aren't you? Because you're getting access to the money without deferring and getting those delayed credits. He goes on, the problem, though, is that most of the break-even analysis that you'll see from Social Security experts ignores the possibility of taking your benefits and investing them. What if my friend here, Tom, says, you know what, my wife and I are going to get, $2,000 each, that's $48,000 a year. What if we just started investing that $48,000 and we could get a reasonable rate of return in an aggressive portfolio? Remember, we're talking about living 25, 30 years in retirement. From 62 to 92, not a bad strategy. So they did the math. Here's what they had to say. Instead of delaying taking your Social Security, consider the situation in which some take their Social Security benefits and immediately invest them in the stock market in a portfolio that generates an 8% average annual return. With a 30-year life expectancy, there's a very high likelihood of that happening if you just reinvest the dividends and don't play with the portfolio. Because there's a reduction in benefits for claiming early and an increase in benefits for claiming late, those who take their monthly Social Security check at 62 receive about 43% less than those who claim at 70. However, the 8-year head start that those who claim early get is enough under the 8% return assumption to build an insurmountable
KCAA.
lead.
Join Tom Hartman.
And he
as
put a
talks
graph
back
up
to
here.
radio weekdays from 4 to...
If you take your money at 62 and you croak at 90, you end up with about $930,000 by investing your money at 8%.
Levels of Power, Fact or Fiction.
If
Author
you
Mike Gilmore
wait
brings political
until you're
thrillers
age
aligned with the
66,
latest news stories
you'll end up
direct
with
from
about
our nation's capital. Immigration and border security.
$875,000
The new word on the street
when you're
is
90
bloated.
years old.
Yeah.
And if you wait until you're 70, you'll end up with about $800,000. We're talking about, I don't know, maybe $140,000 difference. And that's if you die at 90. What if you die at 92, 95, 98, 100, 106? You're better off taking your Social Security early. Of course, that is assuming you earn 8% compounded over that time period. What is the likelihood of that? Very, very high, if in fact you can stay invested. Stick around. More on that when we come back.
Debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Alladort, my mortgage man at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early. Purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Or call Steve Alladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation. And Angioprim is the result, a safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
The new word on the street is bloated. Yeah, you eat this food, GMO, herbicide, pesticide. Foods aren't safe anymore. And then we eat them and we're bloated. Our stomach says, no more, Seymour. So what we have to do is drink the tea. Are you on the tea? GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Super strength tea. It will help you with the new word, bloated. You can get it today. Log on to GetTheTea.com.
Levels of Power, Fact or Fiction. Author Mike Gilmore brings political thrillers aligned with the latest news stories direct from our nation's capital. Immigration and border security, high tension in Southeast Asia, a Supreme Court nomination. Follow Senator Randy Fisher through the halls of power as he confronts the issues that affect our everyday lives. Fast-paced political thrillers, Levels of Power. Discover more at michaelgilmore1.com or amazon.com. Get hooked today.
Del Walmsley here. The first thing you're going to have to learn is that until you stop expecting our politicians or anyone else to change your life isn't going to change. The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Right here on KCAA, now broadcasting on 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
If you don't know what it's all about, Dr. John